Welcome back to In the House with Beth and Ryan. I'm Beth, and this is Ryan. Today, we're going to take a look at the Guelph real estate market and how it performed during the first half of the year, and also maybe take a brief look at comparing that to what our predictions were, and then also go ahead and make predictions for what we think is going to come in the second half of the year.
As we look at how the first half of the year did versus what we predicted, do you remember what we predicted for the first half of 2023?
Not really.
We predicted a sales decline of 25%. The city of Guelph finished at minus 30% in overall dollars sold. If you take a look at the first half of the year and some of the things that happened, we saw a major decline in the number of units sold as well. People were nervous as to what was going to start happening in the market. And just as we started to get comfortable with what was happening in the market, the government raised the interest rate in June.
The other thing that we noticed was that it almost felt like the spring market was delayed. People were kind of waiting and doing nothing during March, April, and even a little bit into May, where normally that's when the market is busiest.
Yep. And
it seemed like June was really where we felt the spring market. Which is typically, like Ryan said, when things start to slow down. It was a much busier June than typical.
As our prediction was last year, from July to December, I think we're going to see the market increase versus last year. However, with that being said, there is an interest rate hike coming. We're filming this just before the announcement next week, but everybody thinks it's coming, 0.25. And with the slowing summer market, which is usually slow because people are on vacation, probably going to see a dip in prices. I think that buyers are going to have a chance to get a better deal than they were able to get maybe just a few months ago. We have hit a high in the number of listings. And I know I look at listings a lot more than you do, but you know what we're at now?
Are we close to 200?
Over 200.
Yeah.
Well over 200. In fact, this week we hit a record high. We were at 212 this morning.
So we're actually heading in towards more of a balanced market. What would you say is the balanced market number in Guelph? 300?
Probably closer to 300, maybe 350.
Yeah.
So we're far off from it. We're still in a seller's market, but it's fading quick.
We've seen recently, in particular, really big increases in condo listings, and then also in the kind of like $750 to $1 million range. So if you're selling a condo or selling in that price point, you're going to start to find it's a little bit more competitive as there are more properties available. But
buyers have more choice.
So if you're buying, it's a good time.
And that's when you see things like conditions start to reappear. So conditions of financing, conditions of inspection, those things come back when the market gets a lot of inventory.
One other thing that might be worth talking about while we're on the topic of listing your house, now that there is more competition out there in terms of listing, if you are planning to sell in the late summer or even the fall, there's some key things that you will want to consider to ensure that your listing stands out in the crowd. One of the challenges that sometimes happens in a quickly changing market is that people's pricing strategy can be tied to something that happened in the past. So
or it could be the wrong strategy altogether.
That's true.
Yep.
So you need to make sure that your price is appropriate for today's market as opposed to pricing for what was happening 6 months ago or a year ago.
That's right. And I think part of that comes with dealing with a local realtor. It's the reason why we don't list houses in Mississauga or Toronto, because we don't know the market there. It's important that if you're selling a house in Guelph, that you're using a local realtor who knows the market, who knows the pricing strategies, and can get you the best result. For more information on anything we spoke about today, or if you do want some advice on selling a house, buying a house, or just advice in general, feel free to check us out at bethandryan.ca.